Archangel Michael proclaims, "There are truths that have been concealed in the quiet corners of spaces you believed would bring you healing, deep within the confines of that hospital where sterile lights attempted to mask the pain. A witness saw what transpired during your time there. A nurse possesses the full story, yet fear has silenced their voice. Today the heavens intend to reveal what has remained hidden. Your experience in that hospital bed was far more complex than you recall. There were murmurs among the staff and exchanged glances that were never meant for your eyes. The nurse who cared for you observed an event that should have been intervened upon but was not, and their conscience has been burdened ever since. This communication has reached you not by coincidence. Divine forces have determined that your spirit deserves to uncover the truth. The silent pleas you whispered during your stay were heard by the heavens even when humanity failed you. Those prayers are now manifesting into revelations piece by piece, guiding you back to the moment where it all began. Archangel Michael emphasizes that there is a heaviness in the air tonight as he presses this truth upon you. You are being directed to confront a hidden reality that has troubled you for far too long. What was conducted in secrecy is on the verge of being illuminated. As you reflect, consider every echo in that hospital. It carried a different tone during your stay. Doors closed unexpectedly and conversations ceased upon your entering a room. The nurse who bears the truth of these events noticed the subtle signs of wrongdoing but was intimidated by the influence of those involved. Archangel Michael asserts, "This is not a matter of punishment but of liberating you from chains you were unaware were binding you." There exist records, whispers of altered documents and decisions made without your consent that have shaped your suffering. This nurse bears the heavy burden of this knowledge but trembles at the thought of voicing it. When you departed the hospital, you carried with you more than merely physical scars. Fragments of your soul remained entrapped there, unseen and unheard, awaiting this moment of truth. Heaven has chosen this day because your heart is now strong enough to absorb what it previously could not endure. What you perceived as confusion during your hospitalization was not a sign of weakness, it was your spirit sensing betrayal. Not everyone tasked with your protection had your best interests at heart, and the nurse witnessed their actions clearly. However, fear of losing everything kept their voice bound in silence. Archangel Michael invites you to type a name to receive blessings. The night you felt an unfamiliar presence beside your bedside when you were too weak to move was pivotal, yet no one dared to tell you what truly transpired. The nurse stood frozen, observing a decision that altered your healing trajectory, leading to prolonged suffering. Should you wish to express further support, contributions of up to $20 are welcome. Archangel Michael reiterates, the nurse's silence is not indicative of indifference, rather it stems from threats posed by those who wish to conceal the truth. They prayed daily for the courage to speak out, yet the shadows cast by those who caused you harm loom large. Heaven is now enveloping them, preparing to liberate both you and them from this anguish. You have always sensed an unease when reminiscing about that hospital stay. Certain moments replay in your mind without clarity, as if your soul instinctively understood there was more to the narrative. That intuition was divine protection nudging you toward truth and justice. Even as you rested, angels stood vigil beside you, safeguarding your existence. The injustices you endured were observed by forces greater than this realm. The nurse's gaze was the sole human witness, and soon they will no longer be able to restrain their words. Archangel Michael urges you to type a name for blessings. Long after your departure, this nurse has kept your name in their private prayers. The weight of knowing what others refuse to acknowledge has shattered them internally. They dread that speaking out will obliterate their own life, yet remaining silent feels like a betrayal of yours. Archangel Michael reassures you, do not for a moment believe that heaven has overlooked these occurrences. Every concealed act is inscribed in the divine tome of truth. The time has come for what was hidden to emerge into the light. Through confession, exposure, or perhaps divine intervention, forces are currently at play, aligning documents, witnesses, and opportunities that will ultimately reveal this troubling chapter. The nurse's trembling hands can no longer conceal the truth from the world. Your name will resonate in the halls of justice, and darkness will disperse. This revelation aims not to inflict pain but to reclaim the strength that was taken from you. The chains forged on that fateful night are shattering one by one as this message reaches you. Nothing can thwart what has been decreed by the heavens over your life. Type a name to receive blessings. The fear that gripped the nurse was justified. Powerful entities orchestrated events in that hospital, ensuring that certain truths were never conveyed to you. However, Archangel Michael assures us that those forces are weakening. The nurse harbors a hidden confession, a letter she wrote but never sent. This letter, locked away, awaits the courage necessary for its delivery. It holds the truth about what transpired during your unconsciousness and the decisions that impacted your path to healing. Your spirit is now fortified more than ever, ready not only to receive the truth but to embrace the victory that follows its revelation. The nurse's silence will soon cease, and the voice of heaven will resonate far louder than any earthly threat. That hospital, once perceived as a prison, will transform into a stage for your vindication. Every injustice that occurred there will be rectified. You will not only uncover the truth but witness those accountable face divine justice. Type a name to receive blessings. Archangel Michael reminds you, do not allow fear to envelop you as these revelations come to light. This message signals not despair but a breakthrough. What was taken from you during your time in that hospital will be returned in unfathomable ways. You experienced a comforting presence during your weakest moments. This was not mere imagination but divine protection keeping you alive. The nurse witnessed something far more sinister that night, but angels shielded you from the most dreadful outcome. Currently, a divine upheaval is occurring within the hospital as secrets begin to shatter like fragile glass and hidden voices emerge. What once seemed invulnerable is disintegrating under the weight of divine truth. Prepare yourself. This is not simply a revelation but a pivotal moment. Once the truth is disclosed, your life will no longer be overshadowed by fears of that night. Freedom is nearer than you realize. Type a name to receive blessings. Archangel Michael asserts the realities surrounding that night in the hospital are unsettling the foundations of those who believed they could entomb it forever. The nurse has spent countless nights grappling with the burden of knowledge they bear. Heaven has begun whispering to their soul, compelling them to disclose their silent burden. With each day that passes, their silence becomes increasingly untenable. They have attempted to forget, yet visions of your face, your weakened form, and the decisions made continue to haunt them. Divine pressure is mounting, making silence unbearable. Behind closed doors, powerful dialogues are transpiring. Those complicit in the wrongdoings fear exposure as divine justice draws near. This is more than a message, it serves as a warning that truth cannot remain bound indefinitely. When the nurse finally speaks, a chain reaction will occur. Others who were aware yet remained silent will be compelled to reveal their involvement, and all falsehoods about you will crumble. Heaven is preparing you for the moment when all hidden truths will be exposed. Type a name to receive blessings. You may currently sense an inexplicable stirring within your spirit. This is divine confirmation that this message is intended for you. Heaven has been orchestrating events behind the scenes, aligning circumstances to deliver long-awaited justice. The hospital believed it could erase specific records, conceal certain test results, and silence honest voices. Yet angels have safeguarded the knowledge you need. Nothing is truly lost from divine sight. Archangel Michael asks you to recall the night when the machines beat with unusual intensity and shadows traversed your room. This was no ordinary night. Something significant unfolded while you were vulnerable and unable to defend yourself. The nurse vividly remembers that fateful night. They witnessed a transgression that should have remained unbroken. This haunting memory has burned fiercely within them, unextinguished until this moment. The weight of the truth is more burdensome than the nurse had ever anticipated. They are acutely aware that speaking out could jeopardize their employment, compromise their career, or even endanger their security. Yet, a heavenly courage fills their spirit, reminding them that your liberation holds greater significance than their fear. You may sense a lingering incompleteness since your departure from that hospital, stemming from spiritual bonds forged in secrecy that have remained unshackled. The forthcoming revelation promises to obliterate those chains once and for all. Archangel Michael reassures invisible guardians are battling for you in realms beyond our perception. They have been collecting evidence and setting traps for those who believed they had eluded justice. A reckoning is imminent. Soon an unexpected message, sudden phone call, or visit will confront you with the undisputed truth. The nurse's hesitant voice will utter words you thought you would never hear. When this occurs, you will recognize that heaven has fulfilled its promise. The atmosphere surrounding that hospital is subtly shifting as you read these words. Murmurs of past events are surfacing, and individuals long absent are returning to confront their actions. The environment is charged with divine movement in the secluded corners of that building where you once fought for survival. The presence of angels lingers, and the walls recall your suffering. Heaven has designated this location as a site of injustice that cannot linger in obscurity. You were intended to exit that hospital liberated, rejuvenated, and whole. However, earthly interference redirected your path into unwarranted suffering. This injustice has been acknowledged in heaven's court, and judgment has been rendered. Archangel Michael declares, "Prepare your heart, for the truth will not only clarify past events but also usher in miraculous healing. The nurse's bravery will catalyze your deliverance. Long-buried files will resurface, and clandestinely recorded conversations will emerge. What was meant for destruction has been divinely safeguarded to affirm your innocence and validate your suffering." The nurse has discreetly attempted to alert certain individuals, hoping that someone else would come forward first, yet fear has kept everyone shackled. Now divine flames are consuming that fear. Archangel Michael advises, heaven will not rest until you attain full justice. Angels tread the same halls you once traversed, stirring memories and confronting those who perpetrated wrongdoing. No bribery or intimidation can stifle this movement. The next chapter of your life will encompass more than mere acknowledgement of the truth. It is about restoration, compensation, healing, and vindication, all of which will flow once this revelation materializes. Your tears will transition into a divine testimony of triumph. The nurse is also receiving unmistakable signs that cannot be overlooked. Dreams featuring your likeness, sudden messages urging them toward bravery, and angelic encounters nudging them closer to confession signify heaven's unwavering pursuit of justice. Your heart may feel burdened now, sensing this divine unfolding, but have no fear. This is the onset of a storm that will clear the skies. Everything taken from you will be returned manifold. Archangel Michael affirms the silence surrounding your hospital experience will not withstand another season. The veil is tearing, and the truth will resound more powerfully than any falsehoods told about you. The world will unearth the truths hidden away. Those responsible for your harm will be compelled to release everything they have withheld. You shall stand not as a victim but as a testament to divine power rewriting your narrative. The clock of heaven is advancing, and each passing moment brings you closer to a divine revelation. The nurse who has borne this burden for an extended period is approaching a critical juncture. They can no longer exist in silence while your soul remains bound by unresolved anguish. In their moments of solitude they have whispered apologies into the void, hoping your spirit might somehow perceive them. However, heaven demands more than mere whispers. It calls for the proclamation of truth openly. The era of secrecy has concluded. Archangel Michael states, a ripple effect is forthcoming. A conversation overheard, a discovered letter, an arranged meeting. These are not mere coincidences but the results of divine orchestration. The truth will become inescapable. When this moment arrives, your spirit will sense it even before words are articulated. A profound recognition will awaken within you, affirming that divine justice is at last manifesting on earth. Type Amen to receive your blessing. 412. The hospital room where you lay in stillness has been graced by angels numerous times since your departure. They have left marks invisible to human perception, preparing for your return, not as a patient but as a victor reclaiming what was lost. The nurse is aware of the names, the actions, and the precise moment when your healing was interrupted. This knowledge has weighed heavily upon their heart as they have sought strength to reveal it without self-destruction. Archangel Michael reassures, divine shields are now surrounding this nurse. Every threat and every attempt to silence them is being dismantled by celestial warriors. When they finally disclose the truth, no earthly force will be capable of causing them harm. Moreover, when their confession reaches you, it will not only liberate your spirit but will also create ripples that free others who have suffered in silence under the same shadow. Type Amen to receive your blessing. 879. As you read this, signs will begin to materialize in your surroundings. You may hear the nurse's name unexpectedly, or someone associated with that hospital may cross your path without warning. These are not coincidences, they are divine setups. The nurse has prepared messages, rehearsed what they intend to say, and envisioned the moment of revelation. They have come close on numerous occasions, but fear has caused them to retreat into silence. This time divine fire will compel them forward unstoppable. Archangel Michael declares, a heavenly scroll inscribed with your name exists. Within it every injustice is documented, every moment of stolen peace recorded. This scroll is now being opened before celestial witnesses, and judgment is rendered in your favor. Even those who believe themselves beyond reproach will tremble. Truth requires no permission to shatter chains, it moves with the swiftness of lightning, unstoppable and definitive. Type Amen to receive your blessing. 531. The nurse's revelation will not arrive in isolation. Hidden cameras, misplaced files, and witnesses once thought forgotten will suddenly re-emerge. Piece by piece, the puzzle you have been attempting to solve for years will fall into place. The hospital itself will not evade this reckoning. Shadows that have lingered in its corridors will be forced into the light, and justice will flow like a purifying flood. What has been constructed on falsehoods cannot withstand divine decree. Archangel Michael asserts, every night you wept, questioning why your suffering persisted, was heard. Angels collected every tear as evidence and presented them to the highest court in heaven. That court has now ruled, truth must be revealed. You will not only gain knowledge of what transpired, but you will also witness divine recompense materialize before your very eyes. Every loss will be restored, every wound healed, and your narrative will emerge as a triumph. Type Amen to receive your blessing. 666. When the nurse finally speaks, their words will penetrate years of silence like a sword of light. The atmosphere around you will alter, and your soul will experience the lifting of a burden you were unaware you carried. Those who once mocked or doubted your pain will stand in disbelief as the truth is unveiled. Their silence will transform into apologies, and even those who conspired against you will be compelled to kneel before divine justice. Archangel Michael proclaims, miracles often commence in darkness before bursting into light. Your darkest night in that hospital bed is set to be rewritten as the spark that ignites your breakthrough. Heaven has prepared for this moment far longer than you realize. You will stand on the very ground where you once experienced brokenness, but this time it will be surrounded by power, restoration, and divine favor as a protective shield of fire. Type Amen to receive your blessing. 219. Even now, celestial forces are penetrating locked safes, protected archives, and clandestine discussions, unearthing evidence that was meant to remain concealed indefinitely. No truth will stay hidden. The complete truth will be revealed in divine timing. The nurse's journey has been filled with anguish, grappling with fear and guilt on a daily basis. However, as divine support bolsters their resolve, they will not only voice their experiences but also stand beside you as an advocate for justice. Archangel Michael proclaims, the adversary attempted to usurp your destiny through that hospital experience, but heaven has transformed the enemy's scheme into an opportunity for your elevation. What was intended to be your downfall will instead serve as the foundation for your ascent. Prepare to witness openings in your life that no one can close. This revelation will not only mend past wounds, it will catapult you toward a future enriched with divine blessings, honor, and restoration. Type Amen to receive this blessing. 777. When the crucial moment arrives, you will experience an overwhelming sense of peace embracing you. The nurse's quavering voice will convey not just a confession but also a release of divine energy that has been poised to reach you. Every shadowy corridor of that hospital will resonate with the triumph of heaven. Those who believed you were forgotten will witness your rise in a manner that cannot be denied or silenced. Archangel Michael asserts, this is not the conclusion but rather an extraordinary beginning. The tempest of truth will pass, leaving in its wake not devastation but a clear radiant sky from which your spirit may soar. From this moment onward nothing concealed will harm you again. Heaven has claimed your freedom, justice and restoration, and no force can oppose it. Type Amen to receive this blessing. 999. The divine clock has reached a pivotal moment. The walls of silence surrounding that nurse are gradually fracturing with each passing day. What they know about that night regarding what befell you has become an unstoppable force propelling toward revelation. Every sleepless night they have endured, every whispered prayer in secrecy has been heard in heaven. The angels assigned to your cause have remained steadfast, ensuring justice prevails. No barrier can restrain the truth that is poised to dismantle every false narrative. Archangel Michael emphasizes, as this message reaches you, forces of light are moving like a powerful wind. Documents once deemed lost are emerging again, and allies you never expected are stepping forward. This is the divine orchestration of your long-awaited victory. Once the confession is uttered, the nurse's burden will be lifted, and darkness from that hospital will no longer shroud your life. You are about to experience a freedom unmatched in your past. Type Amen to receive this blessing. 1444. Hidden away behind locked doors and neglected filing cabinets, the very halls where you once felt powerless are now vibrating with unseen forces. Heaven has marked that place, and even the most resistant hearts within are sensing a shift they cannot rationalize. Something greater than themselves is rewriting the narrative. Archangel Michael declares, you will witness undeniable signs before the truth is fully revealed. An unexpectedly discovered letter, a conversation overheard, a name mentioned at just the right moment, all will converge to guide you toward divine clarity. You have endured enough darkness. The rising tide of truth is now unstoppable. You have been chosen to witness this divine revelation and to embrace the fullness of justice. Type Amen to receive this blessing. 1818. The nurse has composed and discarded numerous drafts of their confession. Each time fear has stifled their courage, but now heaven is infusing them with boldness, igniting an unquenchable fire within their spirit. Each night their dreams are filled with visions of you finally discovering the truth. They envision standing before you, articulating every word they have held back for so long. Heaven has embedded this image so deeply within them that they can no longer resist bringing it to fruition. Archangel Michael states, those who endeavored to bury this truth will helplessly observe as their lies are dismantled piece by piece. No amount of power, influence or intimidation can hinder the hand of heaven from acting. This revelation is not solely for you, it is for every innocent soul who has been silenced and every victim left unheard. Your victory will resonate outward, breaking chains for many others. Say Amen to receive your blessings. In 1919 you will soon find yourself drawn to recollections of your time spent in the hospital. This attraction is no mere coincidence, it is a divine nudge encouraging you to prepare for what lies ahead. These memories are aligning with a higher purpose, offering clarity where there was once confusion. The presence of the nurse is closer than you realize. An unexpected meeting, a significant message, or perhaps a new story will connect you to the truth you seek. Every moment has been painstakingly arranged by the heavens, ensuring that you will not overlook this opportunity. Archangel Michael proclaims, "Your name is being uttered in celestial courts as restoration is mandated for your life." Angels are descending with scrolls of justice, poised to bestow blessings that have been unjustly taken from you. When this revelation unfolds, you will emerge renewed, empowered, and enveloped in a glory impervious to darkness. The struggles of yesterday will no longer define your identity, they will instead serve as a testament to divine strength. Say amen to embrace your blessings. As we reach 2222, divine light is now penetrating the shadows of your past experiences in that hospital. Secrets once kept are now being proclaimed in the realms beyond our sight. The nurse once faltering is now discovering her strength, guided by unseen forces leading her towards you. The very foundation of that place is awakening. Spiritual bonds are shattering in ways that only heaven can perceive. Those who believe they could evade justice are encircled by angelic beings ready to unveil their hidden agendas. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this journey is not merely about revealing past events, it is about unlocking your true destiny. The instant that truth comes to light, the gates of blessings will swing wide open, inundating you with restoration beyond your wildest dreams. Your narrative is transitioning from silent suffering to a story of divine victory. Soon you will walk with a newfound confidence grounded in truth, adorned in the armor of heavenly justice. Say amen to receive your blessings. As we acknowledge 3130